Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we are going to be talking about the NBA slate on January 29th, which is Monday. We're going to be covering Underdog today. We've got 12 games. There's a lot of value to be had. We have a full 5-man slip for you. You can mix and match these plays, or you can just, take the whole slip the way we see it. We feel good about all 5 of these plays, but yeah, always go with your gut, and we'll show you what we're getting into, what we like, and you can decide if you want to mix and match these or take the full slip. Before we get into these plays, though, if you've never tried Underdog, use our promo code BACKDOOR, and they will match your first deposit up to $100 and give you an instant pick'em special. It's a great deal. If you deposit $100, you'll get $200 to play with and an instant pick'em special. So just make sure you use code BACKDOOR, and they will hook you up with that deal. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Turn your notifications on if you want to be able to jump on the value quickly. We already had one of these plays move on us. They move really quickly, especially during the daily show. So if you want to jump on these quick, just have your notifications on. You'll get notified. You can hop on, see what we're getting into, and decide whether or not you want to get into these as well. So these are the plays we're going to be going with. I'm going to be we built the slip together, so it's a little different than we normally do. We've been kind of just building out these 5-mans lately, which has been a lot of fun, but I'll cover 3 of the plays. The first play that I'll be covering is Max Strus over 3.5 rebounds. I like Reggie Jackson over 1.5 rebounds, and Julian Green over 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And what are the plays you're covering, Jordy?
I'm going to be covering Paul George, 3-pointers made, and Mason Plumlee, PRA under.
All right. So yeah, these are the 5 we're going to be talking about. Before we get into the breakdown, though, we want to tell you guys about another platform that we've partnered up with called Chalkboard. It's kind of similar to Underdog in the sense that you the minimum bet is $1, which I always appreciate. You can bet 5 higher. You can bet as high as you want. Within there are some maxes depending on the bet you're putting out, but I like having that option to go down as low as $1 if I feel like it, because sometimes I like to make a lot of different slips and just have a little bit of fun with it. I love that Chalkboard does that. I love that Underdog does that. But what Chalkboard offers is you can make your own lines. So there's no insured plays or flex plays on Chalkboard, but they let you have full control of the lines. Every now and again, they'll have a play that is so generous on their end that they won't let you adjust it. But for the most part, I would say like 90% of the plays on there, you can adjust it to what you want. Like this Julian Green PRA, for example, if I feel really confident about that, I could bump that up to 12.5 instead of leaving it at 10.5, and they'll increase my my multiplier on my payout, which is a lot of fun. You can build out like 100x slip that has like 5 or 4 plays on it sometimes, if you really want to go for it and get a little crazy. But you can also do the same thing. You can lower the lines and they'll just decrease your multiplier. So I've just never seen another platform that gives you that much freedom. If you want to check it out, it is iOS only right now. So I want to save you some time. If you were thinking about trying it out and you have like Android, they're working on the Android version. They say it's just about finished, and they have a desktop version that's coming as well. For now, it's just iOS. It's a new platform, but they will match your first deposit up to $100 if you use code BACKDOOR. And there's a link in the description of the video if you guys want to check that out. So, all right, let's start breaking down these plays. Like we said, we have 12 games, so there's a lot to get into. But I'll start us off with this Max Strus rebounds play. If we hop over here and take a look at the over-under, should be a good game. 225.5 over-under. Clippers favored by 1.5. Should be a nice competitive game. No big concerns about a blowout here. If we take a look at Max Strus, this is a low line for him to hit. It's a little bit of a difficult matchup. Clippers are good against rebounds, 4th in the league, but this is just low enough for him. He's been killing this. He's gone over it 8 out of his last 10 games. His most recent game against Milwaukee, he grabbed 7, but we just need him to hit 4. So, he's getting his minutes, averaging just under 28 minutes a game. Only 1.8 fouls per game, so he's staying on the floor for the most part. His minutes are a little bit sporadic, but we're kind of trending up right here. So he's in the mid 30s right now. Yeah, sorry, I got confused there for a sec. But yeah, fourth in rebounds allowed, so a little bit of a tough matchup, but 3.5 is just so low. So I'm feeling good about taking the over here. This is like one of those low-hanging fruit type plays we've talked about. I feel like it's a safe play. If we hop over to Daily Grind, it is the top play that they have for Max Strus on Underdog. They have it at a 53.86% odds to hit, and they have it at a -137. So that's what we're looking for typically when we're using Daily Grind. We want our odds to hit indicator to be in a good margin, which we like that well over 50%. But you also want the odds to match up as well, because sometimes you'll see like 53%, but it'll be like 120 odds, 117 odds. And so you're kind of like, well, that gives me a reason to pause and reflect on the narrative of, do I think this play will hit? But usually when it's like a sure shot that I feel good about, I'll see that their odds and their odds to hit indicator are both showing me what I want to see. And then we have good odds across the rest of the platforms, -130 or higher. BetMGM has this all the way up at a -140. And odds aren't everything, obviously, but sometimes it does help you confirm whether or not your narrative is heading in the right direction on a play. If you guys are interested in checking out this app, Daily Grind, this is the DFS optimizer. They're awesome. They've been a partner of the channel since pretty much just right after the inception of the channel. They've been awesome. They're our favorite. No offense to the other partners we work with. But Daily Grind is giving all of our viewers 25% off of any of their tools. So if you want to check out this DFS optimizer, there's a link in the description of the video. Just use code BACKDOOR and they'll give you 25% off of any of the tools they offer. They also have a really cool DFS. This is a DFS optimizer. They have a really cool correlation tool. They have a middling tool. They have a fantasy scores tool. You can use all of those to maximize your upside when you're taking plays. And the DFS optimizer is especially good for when you are in a hurry and you just need to quickly find where the value is. Sometimes you're just you're like 15 minutes before a game starts, like, actually, I'm going to throw some slips on this game. The DFS optimizer will definitely help you with that. So check them out. Make sure you use code BACKDOOR, get your 25% off. All right, so on to the next play. We're going with Reggie Jackson. This is even more of a low-hanging fruit. 1.5 rebounds. That's just so low. And it's not like he crushes this every time, but this has been hitting a lot for me. I take it whenever it's available for the most part, because it's just 2 rebounds is so easy. That's such a low bar to hit, Let me see if I can find the over-under here. 238 over-under, Nuggets favored by 4. So hopefully we don't have to worry about a blowout here. The spread isn't like, setting off the signals that we have to be concerned about a blowout. Usually when we're pushing that 7 points or higher is when we start questioning, like, hey, could this turn into a blowout? But it's the NBA. These are pros. Any team can randomly blow out another team, whether it's the worst team, destroying a really good team. It can happen any which way. These are professionals, so sometimes they show up. But we have a nice 238 over under. So we want pieces of this game, because there's going to be a lot of points to be had and whatnot. If we hop over to Outlier, which, by the way, Outlier is also a great app. This is the best in the business for statistical analysis. You can see how it breaks everything down from your matchup. You can check your injury reports and quickly see what's going on. So yeah, we see Giannis as a game time decision, but which would be even better for Reggie, in my opinion. If it turns out that the Nuggets get a good lead, Reggie's going to get an extra playing time. But we have a good matchup here for Reggie. They're middle of the road, 15th in rebounds allowed, and you can see he's gone over this 6 out of his last 10 games. 2 is just so low. It's not like he's getting bad minutes here. Averaging just under 22 minutes a game, 1.5 fouls a game. So, he's never leaving the game because of foul trouble. His lowest game is 18.3 minutes. So this is another one that's just like, it's so low, 1.5. So I'm feeling really good about taking this play. I take it most of the time that it's on the board. If we hop over to Daily Grind again, they have this as his top play. 53.31% odds to hit, and another juiced odds here, -138. We got -130 or higher across all the other platforms that have this play. So feeling good about this one too. Those 2 are kind of no-brainers. Anything can happen, but I like taking plays like this. And then my last one is probably my favorite play, Julian Champagny for over 10.5 PRA. You can also take a look at his rebounds if you don't want to take a shot on the points and assists as well. But this is just a really, really good matchup for him. The Wizards are just giving up. They're the worst in the league when it comes to defense across the board. But they put up a lot of points. So this should be a fun game. Jordy and I target the Wizards games quite a bit. 241.5 over under. And we've got the Spurs favored by 4 here. If we hop back over to Outlier, you can see he's gone over this 8 out of his last 10 games. And the reason I wanted the PRA over just the rebounds, I'll show you right here. If we go over to his rebounds, he hasn't hit it as often, 5 out of his last 10 on rebounds alone, because he's a really good scorer. I think he deserves more playing time personally, because he's kind of a sniper from the 3-point line. But yeah, 8 out of his last 10 when we go full PRA. And if you look at this matchup, it's just last in the league, 30th in points allowed, 30th in rebounds allowed, 30th in assists allowed. We love seeing all that green when it comes to matchups. He doesn't get a ton of minutes. He's averaging just under 19 minutes per game, just 1.1 fouls. I mean, fouls aren't going to really be a factor when you're only getting in that 20-minute mark anyways. But I'm feeling really good about this play. This is a really low line. He can do this on points alone. You can see his last 3 games, he's been a little bit less active. He did hit it against Portland. But if you look before that game against OKC, he was almost crushing this on points alone. Against Philly, 12 points. Against Washington, he went for 11 points and 7 rebounds. So he did great last time he matched up against Washington. So feeling good about these 3 plays. If we hop over to Daily Grind for this one, let's see, they actually have this favored to go under slightly on the PRA. So go with your gut. You don't have to take it, but I'm going to take this over. I'm going to take this over the rebounds alone because I know how good of a scorer he is. But they have his points and rebounds juice to go over at a -140. So it's really just that 2-point bump for assists because he doesn't get as many assists. But go with your gut. I'm rolling this. I'm going to be playing in a lot of slips, but those are the 3 that I covered, and Jordy's going to cover the rest for you real quick. All right, guys. So we told you how the plays get bumped quickly on the daily show. We just had Max Strus get bumped on us, so his rebounds are no longer available. If you're looking for a pivot, you might just want to go with something else entirely. So go with your gut. You still have 4 plays from us, but if I were to pivot to something with Max Strus, I would just jump over to his rebounds and assists. He's still gone over the rebounds and assists 7 out of his last 10 games. In his most recent game, he went for 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Still a tough matchup, but that is a low line at just 7.5. So you're getting a lot of that value of the low rebound play. I wouldn't take his PRA because that's bumped up much higher. And he hasn't gone over it as much, and it is a tough matchup. Only 4 out of his last 10 games, but the rebounds and assists look like a safer play if you're looking to pivot into that. So go with your gut. It's unfortunate. If the rebounds come back, just take that at 3.5. That's my favorite, but I'm comfortable with his rebounds and assists as well. All right, Jordy, you can get into year 2 before another one gets bumped on us.
All right. So to get me started, I'm going with this Paul George 3-pointers made. It's set at 2.5, which is just too low for Paul George. I've been waiting for this line to come out so I could play it, but he's gone over this line 16 out of 20 games. It's just ridiculous. And he has the highest contested 3-point percentage in the game right now. He's been holding on to that for a couple weeks, but I don't even really care about how hard the matchup is. It's ranked 3. They're only giving up 2.3 a game. But Paul George is, Paul George. He'll do this against the best of the best. He played 22 minutes in this last game and went for 3 pretty quickly against Boston. Obviously, they torched Boston in that game, but Paul George is a big part of their success in his 3-point shooting. So I like this one to go over. If you look at the head-to-head, they've only played them once over the last 2 years, and he went over this. He had 5 3-pointers in the last time they played. So with just his history of going over this lately, I like him to hit this again. And it's just like a volume play. Like I say this a lot with 3-pointers, but a guy who's shooting up almost 9 3-pointers a game, he's probably going to get 3, So it's like, as long as he has a good shooting night, I think we're, in the clear of this one. And that's a big part of his scoring. He's shooting 45% from 3, which is really good. So I'm taking that to go over. And if you look at daily grind for this one, they've got it all the way up at a 54.06% chance. And so we're feeling really good about this one across the board. It's like a minus 135, 140. The over-under on this game, there's nothing really too worrisome in this, although we've seen crazier things happen. I mean, Detroit just blew out, who did they play yesterday? Can't remember. But, OKC. Detroit just blew out OKC, so it's like you never know what's going to happen. So, this is a 1.5 spread, and it's in favor of the Clippers. And we got a 225.5 over-under. So not a crazy high-scoring game, but right where we want it to be for some volatility in the scoring. So feel good for Paul George here. And then in that same game, I'm taking this Mason Plumlee PRA under. This is just a really high line for him, and he's not getting a whole ton of minutes. If you look at his PRA, even with the absence of Zubats, he's only getting like 20 minutes a game. And some of these games, he's not even getting close. I mean, his minutes over the last 10 games are 16.6. So for him to get over 16.5 PRA, he's really going to have to do a lot of work. And he just doesn't look in full playing shape yet. He had that nasty injury, so he had to work back from that. So they're kind of just easing him back in. He's capable of doing this. If he goes, he's going to have to like really go for like almost a double-double though, to kind of get this done, because his scoring has been kind of low. So he's gonna have to like really do a lot with the rebounds and just get enough with the scoring to go over this. But he's only gone over this twice in the last 10 games, and he's had more opportunities over the last 10 games. So they're still using Tice, and he's playing a lot more. But I think they keep starting with Plumlee and then like working him in and out. So I just feel good for this to go under. It's juiced to go under. It's a 52.19% chance and a minus 129. It's a little on the sketchy side, but it's such a tough matchup for him too. 7th in points allowed, 14th in rebounds, and 5th in assists allowed. So it's just going to be a tough game. I don't think Jared Allen's going to let him go over this. Jared Allen has let me down in the past with this, so just beware. He's capable. He's a center. It's pretty easy for them to score. So just keep that in mind. But I feel great about it to go under with, such a tight game. I don't think Plumlee's going to get too much playing time. So hopefully I'm right on that one. But that's the 5 we rolled for you guys.
Yeah, guys. And you could see like in a situation like the Max Strus, so you can see how important it is to have something like outlier in your back pocket, because I was able to quickly just jump over to like, well, what does this PRA look like? What does this, RA look like? And so definitely go give that a shot. It's a free 7-day trial, link in the description of the video. Just see how you like it. I'm sure you'll love it as much as we do. But yeah, that's going to do it for us, guys. These are the 5 plays we're rolling with. And if you're interested in checking out our Discord, there's a link in the description of the video. They always get these plays before we even shoot the video, so they all were able to lock these in. Not trying to say like, hey, you need to go join our Discord. We're not pressuring anyone to join our Discord. We love the community. If you want to come check it out, come see what it's like hanging with us, like we welcome you. But we're not trying to like overhype it, like you should get in there for the best plays. Like we're not like that. So we just have a lot of fun in there, and it's the same vibes as our channel, just really cool people. So if you want to check it out, just make sure you go to server subscriptions and subscribe once you're in there, and it'll unlock all the channels. Works out to be like 50 cents a day. It's just a paywall to keep like the trolls out and keep people from spamming the chat. We have a real clean setup in there. So go check it out if that's your type of thing. But we hope you guys have a great Monday. Enjoy this massive slate, and we will catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.